What is going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. My name is Justin, aka KnowGoodComics, and welcome to the channel. With me, as always, on this show, MorbiusComics. What's going on,
What's going on, man? MorbiusComics, of course, here with the homie Justin, and y'all in for comic relief.
Yeah. So if you guys are new to the show, we'll first take a moment, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. As Morbius just mentioned, this is our new show that we've kicked off now. It's episode 4 of Comic Relief, and it's a different take on comic relief. You know, we're talking about some sensitive topics, some topics that we think not everybody likes to talk about, as they can be sort of uncomfortable at times, mainly because there's just a lot of disagreements, I think, overall, which is fine. And I think, as long as you can debate in a respectful manner. We always say, these are just our opinions. We're not saying that we're right or wrong. We're not calling anybody right or wrong. This is just like how we view it based on our experiences. I always like to kind of clarify that so nobody thinks that we're trying to attack anybody or anything like that. It's not like that.
This ain't the comic relief law.
No, right. We're just trying to bring up some topics that we want to hear what people think about, and here's what we think of these. So as you guys might have seen the thumbnail, tonight's show is about variants. What are your initial thoughts on variants overall? Do you like them? Do you think there's too many of them? Should we stop doing variants altogether? Are they good for shops? Are they not good for shops? So we're going to dive into all that stuff. Before we do, I do want to mention again, Morbius just created his YouTube channel not too long ago, and I put his information in the link below. Guys, check it out. Whoa, look at this man. He's like, let me give you a hand here.
Let me give you a hand here. Go and hit that sub button. Just hit
there you go. Thumbs up. That's awesome, dude. That is so dope.
I had to do that.
I love it. And guys, let me know if the link's not working again, because I tried to. I swear I copied and pasted the right link, but if there's any issues, I will drop it in the chat again.
Yes. Definitely hit me up. Sub me up. I will sub you up by the end of the night. You know what I mean? Don't panic. If y'all don't see me in a few hours, I will hit you up. And definitely I'm gonna be putting content on. I'm just waiting for some visual effects to be finished so I could get my content up. But yes, it will be coming soon. Don't worry. I got some goodies for you guys. I'm actually gonna start with a room tour. So so that's let you guys know. I didn't want to say anything, but I figured why not? We family.
There you go.
We family.
Anyone watching here is exclusive information.
That's right. You got exclusive. This is a verbal variant right here.
Yeah.
A verbal ratio. This is a 1 in 5,000, guys.
Oh gosh. So before we jump in, let's just say a quick hello to the chat. I see a couple people hanging out.
Who's in the house?
We had Desired Comics, Nigel off the bat. Man's been hanging out. Good to see you. I'm going to have Nigel on as my guest this Saturday for Comic Collector Origin. So really excited about that. If you guys have never checked that out, it's going to be this Saturday, 2:00 Eastern time. Me and Nigel are going to hear a little bit about his comic origin.
Can't wait.
We got Fable in the house. What's going on, Fable?
What's good?
To see you. Bobby, hello. He's from Boogie B 831. Thanks for stopping in.
For sure.
He's saying that Thanos glove, man. People thinking the Thanos glove. Unruly Simeon, what's up, bro?
What's going on?
What's going on? Joker representing East West Comics. What's going on, Joker?
What's going on? Man. Welcome.
We got PJ in the house as well. Paul Morris.
PJ was good. The homie.
Paul's been posting some fire lately.
Hell,
man.
What? Paul stay posting some fire, man.
Yeah, man.
he be acting all humble about it. I be hitting him with the DMs, and he just be like, "What? This is just normal. It just happens. I just found it in the box, with the rest of those, with the rest of the gems there.
We got Perry Comics in the house. What's going on, Perry? Good afternoon, sir.
What's going on, man? Welcome, Perry.
Good to see you. Let's see. Yeah, Bobby's saying it's Gem. We got Thomas Jackman in the house. What's up, Thomas? Nice to see you.
What's going on, man? How you doing? Welcome.
Thanks for stopping by. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, subscribe.
Definitely.
Same to Morbius.
Yes, definitely. What's up?
You crooked?
Yeah, I feel crooked. There you go. I feel better. There we go.
You gotta turn your head this way. There you go.
Hey. All right, I'm good.
So let's jump into this thing, man. Because I know that this is a touchy topic, and there's a lot of different directions I know we could go with. I will encourage the chat, guys. Feel free to. Oh yeah, we got cheers. Feel free to drop something in the comments if you guys have thoughts of your own. We'll read them off here.
That's right. Yeah,
we want to hear you guys
we'll
think.
give you a rebuttal. That's what we're doing here. This is what it's all about. It's not just about us. We want to mainly know what you guys think about the topics we're talking about, you know, because it helps us out. It gives us a different perspective. And real quick to the homie Justin. Cheers, my brother. Salute.
Yeah, man. Cheers. Sticking with my Woodford.
There you go. I got of course, always VSOP Hennessy. Doesn't go nowhere except only in my belly. That's where it goes, in the belly.
I'm telling you, once the summer comes up, I might have to change up a little.
Yeah, right. I mean, we're gonna do beers. Trust me.
Yeah.
I switch up. I usually drink my Presidentes. You know, that's what I love. It's like a Dominican beer, but obviously it doesn't taste the same when you drink it here, of course. And the alcohol content is less compared to DR. I think it's like 12%. In DR.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, you get hammered quick with a beer.
I was gonna say a couple of those.
With a tall boy. Oh yeah, you're good. But yeah, definitely. Let's jump into this, Justin. I am curious. I'm curious. Okay, let's just start with the basic that everyone always mentions all the time. Do you feel that we have too many variants now? And have you experienced a situation with variants, purchasing variants, where whether it was in your favor and it wasn't in your favor?
Yeah. So ultimately, I do think that there are too many variants. I think that there are way too many variants, especially with, I mean, like Nonstop Spider-Man that just came out had, I don't know, it felt like it had 20 plus variants.
Right.
I feel like it sounds. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
I've definitely been on both sides of the fence where it's, worked out for me versus hasn't when it comes to buying them. Ultimately, though, like I buy variants because I like the artwork. That's like my main reason for that. If I want to read it, I usually, I'll buy the digital copy, read it digitally, and I'll still go buy the variant physically just because I like that artwork.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, it's crazy to think I buy books over and over and over again. Like I like the Nonstop Spider-Man. I feel like Marvel got me to buy that thing, 5 different times, like the same book 5 times, which is like, which sounds silly, which sounds, especially if you're trying to explain that to someone who's not into comics, like my girlfriend, it's like, she's like, well, if you have it, then why do you need to buy another one?
Right.
Why of a different color, like, and spend more money? And then why do you got to buy the one that costs 5 times the cover price,
right?
All this stuff, which they're total valid questions for sure. And to me, I'm just like, well, I gotta have it. Like I like that cover. And the other thing is, I was talking to Magic Lasso over the weekend on Comic Collector Origins. He was my guest, and he mentioned like he's a completionist. He likes to when a book comes out, he wants to own every version of that, even if there's like errors or if there's like a incentive or a comic exclusive, Comic-Con exclusive, things like that. But even he was saying like it hurts. It's hard to collect all that all in one. I mean, it's expensive. In other words, if you have the money for it, great. But if you don't, it's hard.
Right.
And so that's how I initially kind of feel overall about the whole thing.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. And I agree with you, on a lot that you were saying, a lot of points you made, where it does come down to money. And it's not only that the fact that we're spending the money, it's a money game at the end of the day. And I've heard people say, I've had conversations, no names, where they're like, oh yeah, it's a money thing and it's good for the retailer. I was like, it depends. You know what I mean? Because now you, as a consumer, it's definitely not in our favor. Like you were saying, we only buy a variant because of the artist. Now, if you look at it in one way, yes, it's great because it gives an opportunity to artists to showcase their work. If you want to look at it from that level, what's going on? Azores, sorry. And so it's so when you look at it from that point of view, you're like, all right, yeah, variants are cool because it gives an opportunity for you to pick up some awesome artwork, and it gives an opportunity to artists who normally wouldn't be able to showcase their work. I mean, you have tattoo artists, that I forgot his name, that he's even have been able to put something on a cover, and be able to, showcase his work in that way, which helps benefit him financially. Great. That's awesome. You want to look at it from that point of view. But then when you look at it, from the publisher and, distributors, these are the ones that are running to the bank and we're the ones, paying for it. you know, because like you said, and then you have a lot of FOMO where people just, they see it and they're like, oh, it's a new variant, he got it, so I want it. You know what I mean? So a lot of that plays into it. So once again, hurting our pockets, you know, and a lot of times when you have these variants, which traditionally a variant, you know, it's completely different, you know, it's completely different cover. But then you have variants where it's just a little small, little smidget little thing that's different.
Right.
But the cover almost looks the same to any average, you know, person. It's like, well, that's the same cover. And you're like, no, because it has a little blood spot right here. Right. You know what I mean? And that changed it, you know? So to me, it's like, you know, I feel there are too many variants. I'm trying to remember right now. I don't know why I got blanked out. I should have wrote it down. But there was a book that came out, a #1, just not too long ago, had 70 variants. And I should have wrote it down. I feel horrible. If anyone in the chat could pick it up, just put it in the chat, because, you know, 70 variants, it's
a lot.
Like, is that necessary? Is that really necessary, in the sense that you, and then a lot of those variants, you know, and then another thing, don't get me started with blanks, because that's another thing. People have said, well, that's an opportunity for people to draw on it.
Right.
Bro, you're buying a blank cover. Don't get me wrong. Some blanks are cool because just based on the color, and as an artist, like and like what Magic Lasso said, I am definitely a completist. That's my problem. I buy a book and now I want to complete the run. You know, and I've had to tame myself and take control and discipline myself to stop doing that when it comes to these variants. You know, because I almost did it with the new Iron Man. You know, with the Alex Ross covers, and, you know, and I like it. And then I saw a variant, and that's what started me in it. I saw the variant, #1 variant, and I picked it up. And now I was like, you know what? Let me just pick up the regular covers now, because it's Alex Ross, and of course. But then it starts leading where I'm not even reading the book now. And I'm gonna be honest, you know, I'm 7 issues in, and I haven't read not one. You know, but it started because of that damn variant and me being a completist, and now I just want to start finishing it. You know, and then, you know, so to me, it's like it's overdone. It's too much, and at the end of the day, we're the ones suffering. And a lot of people will you know, counter that again and say, well, you know, it's once again, you know, this is a good thing for the retailer. You know, it helps them bring business to their store. And I'm like, yes and no, you know, because it depends how big you are, you know. As we was just talking, you know, before the show started, I had reached out to one of the local comic shops where I live, which I have a great relationship, by the way, and that's something that I encourage everybody to do. If you have the opportunity to have a local comic shop by you, go over there, hang out, get cool with the owners, get cool with the guy behind the counter, you know, because that's how you're going to get the hookups. You know what I mean? Because they're going to remember you. They're going to remember your name, they're going to remember your face, and they're going to remember the money you spend there. So definitely make sure y'all build that relationship, and I'm pretty sure everybody knows that. But just in case anybody who's on here, brand new, definitely you want to do that. And and that's what I, you know, when I called him up today and I was like, hey, you got a second? He was like, yeah, what's up? And I told him about the show, and I asked him, I said, give me your opinion as a retailer. And he said, you have pros and you have cons, but he mostly leans on the cons of it, because he said, as a small shop, you know, you could go broke, and depending on the person who owns it, you could literally lose your shop because you're trying to keep up, you know, with these 500 ratios. And you're thinking, you know, that 500 ratio price is going to compensate if I sit on 200 books or 300 books and I got rid of 100, to break even. But in reality, you don't.
It's not a good business.
It's not a good business. It's not a good business. You know, that's definitely not good business. And also he was saying, you know, he was like, listen, you got guys here will come and buy a $50 ratio that it's not going to go nowhere. The percentage of a variant blowing up, like, let's say, you know, the Miles Morales, you know, you got his first appearance, but then you have the variant, you know, of Miles Morales that's like $6,000 fucking dollars, you know, but the original first appearance of Miles Morales a few hundred, you know, maybe 1,000 if you CGC, you know what I mean, depending on that. But you have these variants that are just exploding. But what's the percentage of that? How many variants did you get that happened? You know what I mean? Compared to how many variants you got that are just sitting in the box there collecting dust. You know, that ain't go nowhere. You know, so he said, you're better off, instead of buying one book for $50, you could get yourself, you know, 10, 15 books, and probably one of those 15 books or two will actually end up making money or becoming profitable. for you. You know, he said you have a better chance of doing that. And this is coming from the mouth, you know, the horse's mouth, you know. So I was just like, wow, that's pretty intense. Sorry if I was just rambling, but
no, you're good, man. No, you bring up great points. You bring up great points. Some of the people were trying to guess what book you were talking about. They said Eternals, Last Ronin, Berserker.
No, this is further 25. Back. This is further back.
Oh, older. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little older than that. I'm definitely. Oh man, I feel horrible.
Okay, it's all right. I just wanted to highlight some of the guesses.
No. It's none of those. It's none of those. It's a little further back.
Okay, I wanted to say here, Thomas was saying I'm indifferent about this subject. I like them, but I don't. I'm guilty of falling for the gimmicks myself. Yeah, I mean, I'm totally with you there, Thomas. It's I feel both ways about it. Where it's like I can easily say there's too many, but who am I to say that there's too many when I buy them? Right. I mean, I buy them. I do like them. So it's like if we want, and here's the big picture too. I want to say if one thing we all have to keep in mind is at the end of the day, if I'm Marvel, my main job is to make sure I make a profit.
Revenue, so baby.
If I put up a book and I say, here's Spider-Man #1, issue A or cover A, and everyone says, I'll buy it. And then I say, okay, hold on, before you all buy it, I'm also going to put out a cover B. And 80% of the people say, I'll buy A and B. Okay, great. Then why am I not going to do that? You know, I'm going to do that as a business. And then I'm going to say, I'm going to explore that. I'm going to say, well, what if I put out a C and a cover D and a cover F? Like, you know, people are just going to be like, yeah, I'll take all, you know, even if it's just a handful of people that buy, Marvel's going to say, well, someone's out there that's going to buy. So I'm going to put it out there. Like, you know, Marvel's going to create it. So then it's like, is it the buyer's fault? You know, is it our fault because we support Marvel? We are supporting them, are we not? Yeah, you know, we give them the money, and Marvel's like, oh, if you're going to keep giving me money, I'm going to keep printing letters. I'm just going to print letters and letters and letters because someone out there is buying them. You know, so then the question becomes, do we as collectors stop buying so that stops them from doing all the printing? Because the more we buy, the more that just tells Marvel, give us more.
Right.
You know,
keep putting them out.
By us, that action tells them to do more. So how could we then say you do too many? Because it's like, well, little Jimmy over here wanted to cover Z, and so we had to make a Z because Jimmy wanted Z, and you know Sheila over here, she wanted a W, so we had to make variant W. So it's like, oh well, I only wanted A and B. It's like, all right, well that's you, but this person wanted Z, this person wanted W.
Right.
So you know, Marvel's gonna say, we're gonna create them all. You know, we're gonna make them.
Yeah, and it makes sense to me on that point. Of course, you know what I mean. As a businessman, that's exactly what you want to do, and you want to corner that market, and you want to make sure that you're constantly creating that revenue based on that market. And I get it, and I totally get it. You know, but at the end of the day, it's also like you were saying, it falls on us, discipline. Right. You know what I mean? But not everyone learns discipline at the same time. So me and you learn discipline, but then you got 300,000 new collectors who just started a few weeks ago who are going to now pick up A, B, C, D, E, F, G because they're not educated in it and don't know and think like, well, if I get them all, they all going to blow up. Like I did, you know, I'm going to tell you guys, you know, the with volume, the X-Men volume with when Hickman started, dude, I picked up
House of X?
No. Before that one, volume 6 is it? X-Men volume 6, or
of the new Hickman stuff?
No, like when he started, when not the House of X and not right before that, the X-Men, that they only made like maybe I think it was like 20 issues, and then they stopped, and then they started the Hickman. I think it's volume 6, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's X-Men volume 6.
Right, before Hickman came on.
And they dropped the #1 because it's been so long since they started a new volume. And they came out with all these variants. I think they had like 20 plus variants. Bro, I picked up like 10 of them.
Yeah.
You know, and I told you I picked up that Dave Cockrum variant. It was an ink variant. And I'm thinking like, oh, this ink variant Dave Cockrum is going to blow. I picked up 2 of them. Woo, to this day, you find it on eBay anywhere from $5 to $10.
Right.
You know, and that's just the hype. The hype of the variant hype at the time when I got into it, I was like, oh man, this variant might be it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And no, it's a dud. And that's why I say like the ratio when people say, oh yeah, but the variant game, you know, you could really make your money. I said, yeah, really? You know what I'm saying? So you're telling me I got to spend a couple $100 on a book, you know what I mean? When I know that I could spend a couple $100 on a few back issues that are constantly going to keep growing, you know, constantly creating value for themselves, you know? So that's how I see it now. You know what I mean? But I made the same mistake.
But what you're talking about here is all aspects of money. You're talking about, will you make your money back?
Right. That's that.
But for me, I'm saying I buy it because I like the artwork. I don't plan on selling it.
No. You know me, I don't sell them. No, I meant like in the sense where it's creating value for your PC. You know, where you pick up a book and you're like, man, if this thing blows, that'll be great because I don't have a hot book in my PC. Right. You know, not to sell. You know, I don't sell shit, man. You know, I'm a herder.
But I'm saying I don't need to go into it thinking that I'm gonna buy it necessarily because
no. I bought it because it's a dope ass cover. Dave Cockrum. The cover was crazy. It was ink. It was dope. It was like a throwback.
But that should be it then. That should be, you have this cool book,
right?
And regardless, it could be worth a penny now, but it's like you still got this cool book. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's what I'm saying, that the mind state at the time when picking up variants was like that. It was just, you get it? Because it was like the variant thing. It was just like,
you were hyped.
You were hyped because FOMO. The variant, the FOMO, I got caught up in it.
Right.
You know, now, like I told you, like I just got this one, you know, this had no FOMO. Right. This was just sick to me. Like when I saw this, I was like, man, I gotta have this. You know what I mean? And I got it at my local comic shop for a very good deal, nowhere near what you get it on eBay. So that made me feel good that I was like, man, I got the book I wanted. And I've been looking at this book for like weeks, you know, and I'm like, man, finally I got it. So to me now, it's like, I feel good. I don't care if that book doesn't do anything.
Right.
You know, the fact that it looks so sick, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, you just like it for that.
So I like it for that, and that's it. And now I only buy variants if I like the variant. I don't buy variants based on value, based on speculation, based on hype, none of that shit. Right. You know, if it's a dope cover by an artist that I love, you know, or an artist I don't know, and I was introduced to one, you know, because that's another thing too with variants. Like I've been introduced to artists based on that. Like, you know, Peach Momoko, you know, I mean, she's.
I know you feel a certain way about her.
We'll go into that.
I wanted to say here, I left this up because Perry was saying, is the issue them making tons of variants or people's addiction to the need to buy everything? I only buy A covers and every now and then buy a variant that I like. Now, Perry, I mean, you're not alone there in that, you know, people are, I mean, there are like, you know, I buy stuff that I like. Ultimately, I try to just buy stuff. Now, I do once in a while get away from that, and I can't help it. Like, I'm like, oh, I need to buy this, but I'm not buying everything. And so I don't know if it's necessarily that. I mean, there are people that are probably, yes, addicted to or just wanting to own everything, and maybe that's part of it. But at the end of the day, it's still like, who are we to say you can't buy all those covers? You like, I don't necessarily ever want to say to somebody that they can't buy a book, or how to collect, you know, and that's just something that I'm, you know, I stand by, but, you know, you're right. I mean, it's a good question. It's something to consider. It's like, is it us? Is the problem the people that buy this stuff? Michael here is saying, I have one of the, every Ghost Rider variants, all of them. People get hung up on FOMO. As a 30-year-old collector, you'll find a copy. Don't worry. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing too. Exactly. We don't talk too much, people don't talk too much about the idea that there are so many out there. For some of them, I mean, I know there are ones that are, you know, capped at 1,000 or 2,000 or whatever, but like, you know, ultimately, if you really wanted to get something, like, you know, you'd figure it out, or you know, obviously you bite the bullet and you spend money. Hi, Elias says, I'm not a completist either, thank God.
God bless your soul.
Yeah, it definitely can add up for sure.
Oh man.
Unruly nowadays, it's got to be what I consider stunning art for me to get one. I mean, that's kind of what we're saying here.
Hell
you know,
for sure.
What's going on, Flash by Night? Good to see you, man.
Welcome.
Says my favorite subject. Interesting. And sorry, guys, I know we have a lot of comments.
Let's go through the comments. Let's just go through comments. That's it.
Thomas says 40 years of collecting. I've been a sucker for it a few different times in my history.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it happens to all of us, man.
Yeah, but are we a sucker though? If we like,
it's not really a sucker.
If you bought it because you like the art, I wouldn't say Morbius, you're a sucker.
No. If you're a sucker, like I did with that, you know, in the beginning, that you buy a comic thinking that it's based on a value, right? You know what I mean? Then you got suckered. I was suckered into it. You know, when I first got into the whole variant thing, you know. And that was like, what, like 4 or 5 years ago when I was like, oh, what's this variant thing going on, you know?
Yep.
So yeah, that's when you get suckered. But like Justin said, if you buy something because you love the artwork, you love the artist, you appreciate what you have, nah, man.
Right.
Hold that down, bro. Hell yeah.
Let's see. Red Sonja and Vamp have a metric ton of variants every month, especially. Vampirella, they have their art. But look, I mean, it's
Red
like
Sonja is
people
insane.
must be buying them, so Marvel's just going to keep doing it, right?
Right. Yeah, Red Sonja is crazy.
Like, oh yeah, there's a lot. Yeah.
I'll be like, yo, what the fuck? Like, it just does it every week when I'm going through my list. I'm like, God damn, Red Sonja, like how many?
So here's a scary thing, and Haile brought it up. I'm sure other people have said it here too. I've really taken a step back from buying. It's feeling like the 90s. And now I was looking up some articles, reading some stuff, and a lot of articles that I've read say that the problem in the 90s is just kind of the same thing happening again, where there's going to be too many books that are not good quality and not enough people to buy them. And so stores are going to buy up all these, or they're going to, buy all these books, order the books from the publishers, and then they're going to sit on all these books that they just have extras of, because then, eventually the collectors are just, there's not going to be enough collectors that are going to buy them. And especially like Haile said, some of us get too, sick and tired of it and are like, I'm done. I'm done buying variants. Or I'm done buying in general. Some people say, "Oh, I'm only going to buy old books. I'm only going to buy," and that in itself too, that hurts the shops. The shops want you to buy the new stuff, but if I feel so drowned because there's just so many different variants, it's going to push me away. I'm afraid that people are going to quit the hobby, because of that.
And to me, it's funny because, like, going back to the older heads in here, for those who don't know, I'm also over 30 years collecting. Don't get the baby face confused. Which I hope but no, I've been collecting for over 30 years, and the circle that I'm around is guys, in their mid 40s, 50s, and most of these guys collect back issues. They don't, when they see me posting, modern current issues, they hit me up like, oh man, that's pretty cool, but nah, I'm not picking nothing up, but it looks cool, but I got this back issue. And nothing but respect for those guys, because, that's just the way how they collect, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I do see that in older heads. Older heads are just like, you know what? I'm just going to stick to the back issues and fuck all this new stuff, but to me as a so-called older head, I don't want to be chasing these new books 20 years from now. That's why I collect moderns, and also back issues. I want to stay ahead, and I want to stay, ahead of the curve, because the last thing I want to do when I'm 65 years old, trying to, compete with these young bucks like you, you know what I mean? I'll be there like, excuse me, you whippersnapper.
Hit me with your cane and stuff.
That's exactly. That's my Miles Morales, and I can get away with it because I'm an old fogey. So I'll be like, get away with me. You'll be like, man, I'll fuck you, old man. But no, that's why, me personally, like, that's one of the reasons why I still collect modern. So anyone wondering, like, I'm a big modern. I collect every week. I got my pools, but just as much as I collect moderns, I do my back issues. Yeah,
I think it depends too, like what your goal is. Like,
exactly.
Like you can. I buy new books because I like to read the new books. Like I'm genuinely reading new stuff. So if I talk to somebody who says, "Oh no, I only buy the old stuff," and I say why, and they say, "Oh, because the old stuff has value." Well, okay, then you're buying based on money, which is okay.
Money.
But to me, I don't want to just buy books based on value. I want to buy books for stories and artwork and things that I enjoy. And I'm not looking to flip them. I'm not looking to make a dollar. But if you are, then I would say, okay, I understand. If money's your thing, like if that's your thing, you're just trying to make the dollar or whatever, then yes, maybe you want to buy more of the old stuff. You don't want to sink your money into the new stuff. But I mean, if the new stuff, I'm enjoying the reads. I'm just trying to read along. That's how I do my shows. I talk about them. Reviews.
Yeah, and I love the shows because you've encouraged me a lot more to read. Now, every book I post, I read. So that's why I'm able to, I hit the synopsis. I'm able to add little side notes because I do my little homework. You know what I mean? Where every book, I'm like, man, let me look into it, read it. And not only that, but it brings me back. And I love the smell. It might be weird, but I love smelling old school. Anything in the 60s to the early 70s, it's a very different smell from mid 70s, 80 has a different smell.
Yeah.
I know it sounds weird, but it really does. It really does have a different smell, man.
I believe you, man. I believe you. Look, my girlfriend, she likes the same thing. She likes the smell of the book. She don't even read books.
Right. But if you smell
you go into a shop and you smell it.
Man, listen.
We're talking about wine here. What are we talking about? Wine?
Yeah, right. it's aged to perfection. What we got here. Go back to the other one. Go back to.
I rarely hear anyone talk about personal responsibilities on this subject.
One more. Go back one more.
It was I think Flash
there
said,
you go.
Is new collectors overspending the industry's or new collectors overspending the industry's fault or the collector's fault? Yeah, that's kind of the question. It's like it does come down to collectors, because industry's going to keep doing it if they're making money.
Right.
If someone's out there to buy,
that's a given. That's a given.
But how do we fix that? It's like, how do we fit? Like, how? Because you can't just tell people not to buy.
And that's the problem. You're not, Justin. There's no way there's no way to changing that.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like already that wheel is gone. That it's in motion already. There's no stopping that wave. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, we have to, at least if we acknowledge it, I feel, it says something to it. Because if we don't even talk about it like we're doing now.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's almost like we're in agreement and we're riding that wave. We're not riding that wave. We're not necessarily against the wave, but we're against of how big the wave has gotten.
Sure.
You know what I mean? That's what I would say. You know what I mean? To those who are listening in.
You think the issue with variants is their aftermarket value and not paying as much attention to the story? Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what I'm saying. Like with the idea, people are buying to think that they can sell it later. This could be worth more. It's more rare, and they're not reading the story. And look, I mean, so here's the other thing. I definitely have bought a variant of a book that I am not reading. Perfect example is ASM 55, the Patrick Gleason book cover, cool Spidey head. Like, I am not reading Spider-Man right now at all. I haven't read the current Spider-Man for a long time. So I'm totally guilty of buying that, because again, it's for the artwork. I really enjoy the artwork. But I'm not necessarily looking at it as the selling aspect of it. But it's a good point of, as you're saying here, not paying as much attention to the story. There are certainly people that are buying just to resell at the aftermarket value.
I mean, listen, we already spoke about that one. We already know. But as far as me, I'm guilty of it with King in Black, with the Spider-Man, symbiote Spider-Man. I love the covers. I love the variants. I picked them up, but I'm not reading that title. I am, yes, I will admit I'm guilty. I am reading the ASM because I'm a big Spidey fan. So, and I'm collecting volume 5, so that's why. And I'm reading it. I'm reading it, and it kind of sucks. It's not the best thing, so I kind of.
Well, you're still going to put your time into it, though.
Right. I skimmed through it. You know what I mean? And it's like, whatever. But at least I feel I could go to sleep at night. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
As a big Spidey guy, I'm just like, I looked at it. Okay, whatever.
Right.
But yeah, definitely the King in Black, the symbiote Spider-Man, same thing. Same here. I'm guilty of it. I'm not reading it.
Yeah. Harley is saying spec craze is giving me anxiety, a little too overwhelming.
Man, listen,
that's a whole other topic that I think we will
listen. We will touch on that. Yeah, we will be touching on that.
Because even specs. Just general speculation definitely. And then of course, variant speculation too. That's definitely a big part of it.
It is big, man, and I think the exclusivity is what they're banking on. You know what I mean? Because this whole thing, because as we know, of course, when you have limited copies of an issue, it creates value because you don't see it anymore. It's very hard to get your hands on it. So now it's valuable now. Everybody wants it. Right. So of course, that's why we have this 1 in 500, 1 in 1,000, 1 in 5,000. Right. I'm waiting for the 1 in 1 million.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's gonna be a shitty ass cover made by Peach Momoko.
So Morbius feels a certain way about
what I'm saying? And no disrespect to anybody who's, trust me, we all have our opinions. We all have, but I could show you like 20 covers that look like my daughter drew them. But I'm not saying anything. I'm gonna leave it at that. You know what I'm saying?
So Desired here says
what's good, Naj?
The market size is is in hyper growth with so many new collectors and investors, and I'm sure it'll grow. It'll continue to grow.
It will for
years. But but that's just it though. So the thing I'm nervous about. Yeah, the thing I'm nervous about is the idea that, like, will this be the 90s again? Remember, everybody was buying the Superman 1 when it came out, and the Superman, and like,
you know, I grew up in the 90s. I was there. I bought the New Mutants. I bought the X-Force. I bought the Young Bloods. I bought the Mad Max. I bought the Spawn. Yeah. You know, I bought all the Wildcats. You know, I was there picking them all up when Image came out. I was just like, oh my God, this is gonna be amazing. You know what I mean? When the X-Men volume came out, Jim Lee. You know, I bought fucking 5 covers. I bought 5 of them. I was like, yes, this is gonna be a fucking $1 million when I'm like in my 30s. Right. You know what I mean? And I'm just this teenager, and but at that time, it's just like now. You had a lot of newbies. You had a lot of people who was jumping on because they saw that, hey, this is an opportunity to make money and also to get involved in something that to them was new.
Right.
You know, they thought like, oh, this is something new now, and then now the publishers reciprocated. So they were like, okay, so this is what you want. Here you go. We're going to give you 8 million copies of Spawn. You know what I mean? And that, you know, thinking that, hey, this is the way to go. And this oversaturating the market. Now it goes back to the variants.
Right.
With saturating the market.
Right now, yeah.
You know, and that's what's kind of going on with it. You know what I mean? And it's intense, man. It's really intense. Now, I really feel like it's going to grow, but at the same time, I'm really worried about it.
Right. Yeah, and it's just like at the end of the day, you know, the guys in the chat talking about like responsibility on ourselves.
Big time.
You know, there's only so much we could do is
be man.
Our best selves, right? It's like,
you know, and we're not saying we're policing it. We're not policing comics. Right. We're not telling you to not buy comics and this and that. Hell,
we can just do what we want to do. Like,
right. This is what
Morbius buys,
what Justin's buy, what Morbius. This is our opinion, no one else's opinion. You know what I mean? You guys are more than welcome to do what you guys want to do, but this is how we feel. And and fortunately, we're in agreement, and we feel that, you know, this is not helping the market as much as so many people want to say it is, because they're in the market.
Yeah,
you know, and I noticed that people who have an opportunity or means to get something out of it are the ones that are going to say, "Oh no, variants, yeah, that's awesome." You know, it gives guys opportunities, you know, to do covers, and the retailer makes money and makes like store exclusives. It brings people to their store, you know, and all that stuff. But but what it costs to get that store exclusive, bro?
Right.
Like, you know, you're not looking at the small, but you're talking about big stores, you know, people who can move, you know, 1 in 1,000.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they could move 1,000 issues to get that one issue. But then you got stores like the guys that I go, you know, that barely pick up the 1 in 20s, you know, the 1 in 50. I barely see a 1 in 50.
Right.
You know, because they know they won't be able to move 50 issues. You know, unless it's some hot stuff that, once again, it's rare. It's not an every week thing. Yeah. And that's what they try to play off of, the whole, oh, well, you pick up this variant and it could blow up.
Yeah.
Like, who gives a shit? You know, like, fuck you. Like, you could pick up 100 variants and that'll be the one out of those hundreds, but then you do the math and is it really worth it?
Right.
No.
Right.
It's not. It's not worth it.
I like that Perry said, you're a sucker if you think you're going to make money. Yeah.
Exactly. You know, and it's not about that. This is not. And to us, if you're in it for the money, God bless your soul.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
God bless your soul.
Paul here says, I like when Marvel uses old artists / art for variant covers like McFarlane, Lee, Miller. I usually pick those up. Unfortunately, they're usually high ratio variants and pricing. Right.
Yeah. You know what I don't like is when you see a 1 in 500 and the cover looks like shit, or you see a 1 in 100, a 1 in 1, any ratio. I'm like, and no ratio should look like shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? If this is what you're valuing it at, and this is the market that you're putting it in, like, come on, man, give me some hot, like some sick shit.
The problem though, even with that, is it's all subjective to our own personal opinions. And so what you might think looks awful, someone else might be like, that's awesome. You know what I mean? Like, so I hear, I know. Also, there you go. So there you go. I mean, I know some diehard people, local fans who love her work. And you might look at it as like, wait, you have to spend $100 to get that 1 in 100. Like, for that garbage, you know, like you might look at it.
It all is perspective. I know. It's all perspective. I get it.
But I hear you though. No, because there are times where you're just like, that's it. That's all. 1 in 500. Like
you know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
Right.
Some stuff looks like, because you really feel like if they're gonna give you that, you're gonna spend. If I'm gonna spend, $200-300, not me, because I'm not spending that on a variant. But if you're gonna spend that kind of money, at least give me the artwork that matches that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Give me something that I'm gonna go home. But like you said, that's all perspective, and I agree, totally agree.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask everybody in the chat this too.
Yeah,
we got 19 people riding right now. Appreciate it.
Let's go. Thank you, everybody.
How much? And you guys put this in the chat. How much? Be honest. Have you paid for a variant? How much money have you on one variant? How much have you?
Please be honest, because I'm gonna be honest. Justin. You better be honest.
I'm being honest. Yeah,
you're being honest. And I don't know who's gonna go first. Who you want to go first?
I can go first. Yeah,
you go first. Go ahead. You go first. Go ahead.
So from what I can remember, it's recent. I paid $120 for the 1 in 50 ASM 55, the all white cover with the black drawing of the Spider-Man.
Okay.
It was like 120.
So me and you are exactly on the same page, and I'm not surprised. Okay. I paid for the same book. Okay. I paid for the same book. Same book. I paid $108. With everything shipping, I paid $108 for it.
Yeah.
And that was the most, because I told myself I would never pay more than $50 for a variant. Right. But when I saw that one, and you had the white on black, the blue, the red, and it's like, you know what, I gotta have this.
Well, the other thing is, as you talked about before, is the hype. I didn't want to miss it. I wanted to get this
right.
book.
You want to?
It was going to sell out.
Right.
But now it's available still.
Right. And to me, it was more like, dude, Spidey is my thing. Like, Spidey is my second biggest, run that I have. It's like, I gotta get this book. It's like, once again, the completist in me was like, I gotta keep going. I gotta get them more. I'm collecting this volume. I gotta keep going. Yep. And that's why that I got caught into that. The FOMO. It happens.
It's part. Yeah, we're human. We're human at the end of the day.
But tell me that post ain't look cool, right?
That's what I'm saying. Right? You do it for the gram. You got to do it for the gram.
You gotta do it for the gram, son.
I didn't even post it yet.
I'm waiting for you.
That one? I don't know if I posted that one yet.
No,
we gotta post it. Yeah.
I did mine. I did the the white, blue. White.
You got to do it for the gram.
Right. I did it.
So here's the thing. We paid money. We probably paid way too much. And sure, that book is probably this is something we never touched on. Right. Exactly. That's what I mean. So that book will probably be able to find for half its price. 2 years from now,
right?
But that's like, we were in the moment, like you said, and that, that's part of it. I will say I have had the experiences where I held off on a variant, and it's kind of what you asked in the beginning is like, has something paid off? I held off on a variant. It was the if I can remember, it was a DC book, which is crazy because I don't really buy DC. It was I ended up not buying this. If anybody remembers in the chat, it was a joke. It was a Harley Quinn variant. It was like 2 years ago. It was her in a straight jacket in a crazy
yes room. Yes.
It was part of the Tom King book.
Yes. Oh my god. It was a short run.
Yeah, 12 issues set.
Yeah, 12 issues. Yes.
So that book, so you know what I'm talking about. So
yes,
that book,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So that was a $200 book when it first came out. It was up to $200. I remember it went on like Comic Tom 101 was talking about it. It was on all these hot lists, and then literally I just found it recently for like $50. You can buy this thing for $50. So that's the proof. And people, I'm sure you guys already know this, but like that's what happens with a lot of these variants, and why you really shouldn't spend hundreds of dollars on variants.
Exactly.
I will completely admit that was a foolish, like hyper in the moment decision that I bought that for that kind of money, because I normally don't. I actually like what Hialeah said, not in this comment, but earlier. He said he only spends $20 or less when it comes to variants. He doesn't allow himself to spend any more money on that. That's good. That's a good control.
I need to do that.
Right.
Mine was 50, so
if you can do it with 20, man.
Bro.
I mean,
more
some people
power
stick
to you.
to cover. They try to just stick to cover price, which is great too.
Right now, like that's another thing. I mean, I was talking to my boy recently, and when he saw me purchase the variants, and he was like, "Man, I thought we spoke about this," you know, because I had a talk with him, and he was just like, "Yeah, you know about this variant stuff, man." He's like, "I thought we went over this, you know, because we both did that whole Dave Cockrum X-Men stuff. We were both together, you know, and we're like, yo, you get it? I got it, you know, and of course,
but
it was like.
That's us being humans. It's like we're, you know, you and I can look at each other right now and be like, Morbius, we are never going to spend more than $50 ever again on a variant. And then 2 weeks from now, there's gonna be something really
check
cool.
This out.
You're like,
yo, I just picked it up
for the
150. Yo, the new Kanto, it came out. Yo. Everybody's on Kanto right now. Peach Momoko, right?
Oh my
God. It could happen. What's up, Burrito? What's going on, Burrito? Peace,
yeah, no, you're right. You're right. It's easy for us to say.
Man.
It's easy for us to say we're not doing this, but
you know what? And that's, I love the transparency, and I hope you guys appreciate it. Because me and Justin, we always said that from day one. We're gonna be transparent on this. We ain't gonna be fronting like we're like the super collectors, you know.
Right. We're not perfect.
We ain't perfect at all, man. Like we'll be on here like 2 weeks doing an unboxing for like a $250 variant. Like it just came in. Alex Ross just did some crazy.
Everybody's
shit.
gonna be like, wait, you guys just said that you were never.
Wait a minute. Yes, you never would have, you know. But
what happened was.
Wait, right.
What had happened
was, see, you know, it was a raffle, and but
one
you
of
said
a
you
kind.
don't do raffles.
It's a one per store.
You said you don't do raffles, Morbius. No. Justin did the raffle, and he okayed it to me.
Yeah.
But nah, man. But what we got here? Come on, guys. What we got?
And big ups on the read. We're still catching up. So right now, like I'm showing some comments from literally almost 20 minutes ago. I apologize, guys. We are
sorry, guys.
Behind,
we just been, yeah, man. We got excited on this one.
I'm trying to highlight some good. I mean, there's some good stuff. Let me skip down a little because I wanted to see what people said as.
I want to know.
Man, we have a lot of comments here. I just. All
right, just go. Let's look at them. How much time we got?
We got like 10 minutes. We got.
We got plenty of time.
I'll read Spider-Man when Nick Spencer is off it. Yeah. I know some people don't like. I try to base my variant purchases on a combination of a beautiful cover and a significant story. That's good. If you can get a good story with a good cover, that's perfect.
That's a win-win. Sure. That's a win-win.
Find that.
Hell yeah.
Let's see. I'm really seeing two covers. I was talking about. Hi, Lay. Gotta go. Yep. Talk to you soon, bro. Thanks for hanging out.
Peace, man. Thank you.
I wanted to see if there were some comments that actually had people put in the price that they shared. Not sure why people quote unquote hate Peach so much. There are artists people don't like, but many people hate Peach.
Well, I mean, it's obvious. take an 8th grader's artwork and put it next to hers, and you're like, man. You couldn't tell the difference between.
I don't stand by what Morbius is saying, people. Just so you know, the collector. I like Peach. I like her work.
Peach, no, don't get me wrong. She killed that. She killed that King in Black. She killed a lot of covers.
Yeah, I know you like. There's certain ones you like.
Listen, right. I'm not. Do not take it as like hate, because that's a very strong word.
Totally.
Go back to collector. That's a very strong word.
Yeah.
There's no hate here. Because at the end of the day, she's eating. If she got children, they're eating. You know what I mean? So
he put in
right. Yeah, it's no hate. It's no hate. You know what I mean? But come on now.
Yeah. Come on. Huge difference is the biggest selling comic of today would have been number 70 on the list in the 90s. Much lower print runs.
That's deep. That's
Burritos
deep, unruly.
That I haven't read Spider-Man in years. I kind of haven't either. Oh, John's Comics with Kids is in the house.
Justin, I am hurt.
Sorry. What? Oh yeah. No.
Spider-Man?
I mean, if you count Avengers, and he's
read the back issues.
One time when he was in. Yeah, no, I know. I do need to go back. I do need to go back. All right, that's my homework. I'll get on that. Just like the Spider-Man run, it is very underwhelming. Yeah, the new stuff.
It is. Definitely, man. Yeah. It is. I ain't gonna lie, man. I skimmed through it. Trust me, guys. But I have to open it. You know, I have to open it. I'm a big diehard. So.
Unruly too. I'm not a Peach hater. Just not a huge fan. There you go.
There you go. Exactly. That's me. Right. Unruly. I'm on the same page. I'm just a little. It's not about being a hater. I don't like that term, hater. You know what I mean? Because it means that hating puts you in a place where you don't have an opinion.
Right.
You know, and it puts a negative overtone over your opinion. And this once goes back to our perspective. It's just an opinion. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, because I've been around a lot of artists. I've been around a lot of stuff. So being a collector for so many years, I feel like, you know, you need to keep that bar. You know, and I understand the style. She has it. That's her style. I get it. I get it. I get it. But so do 8th graders. Let's go.
Copy here. What's going on, Copy? He says, I think we're pretty far from being at the 90s level of print runs, etc. The only book to hit 1 million print runs since the 90s, I believe, was Star Wars 1 in 2015.
Comic books, I totally agree with you, but we were not suggesting A covers. We were talking about variants and the flooding of variants. If you put the accumulation of all the variants together over one issue, an A cover, you're looking at 1 million. You know, so that's what my debate is. You know what I mean? When it comes to the 90s, when you take all like that, I'm gonna come back next episode. I will tell you guys the issue that had 70 variants. You know, one issue, 70 variants.
Share it on your story. So
yes, I will. I will share it in my story. And for those who haven't subbed up, make sure y'all stop by Morbius
Yeah.
Hook a brother up, because trust me, you're not gonna be disappointed once that content starts dropping.
Yep. And I put the information in the link below. I wanted to mention. Steve is here. What's going on, Steve?
What up, Steve?
Perry too, saying I don't hate Peach. I just don't see the appeal in her artwork. So there you go. Every time I read it, I keep thinking I'm reading the words I don't hate speech, like hate speech, like I hate speech.
Hate speech.
Like,
right. That's pretty cool.
This isn't a hate speech.
This ain't hate speech. Hold on a second.
I'm just reading. We
don't want to get flagged over here.
We got Hood Rat Comics in
there. Hood Rat Comics was good, brother. Yeah.
Man, I'm trying. We still had a lot of comments. I don't know if we're not gonna get calls, but
yeah, man, let's try. Let's just keep going.
I'll try to jump in to see where.
Guys, tell us how much y'all spent. How much have you spent on a variant?
There you go.
What is the most?
$100.
Okay.
Steve said I dropped 100 on Department of Truth. 1 in 100. I did the same thing. Spent about
that's a dope one though. That's a dope cover. That is a sick cover.
In store, the most I've spent is 15. I got a Noctura for 25, but I did get the Spanish Saga for like $30. So okay, so there you go.
I picked up that Noctura glow in the dark variant.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I heard you could see that at night. That's cool.
Yeah. You think?
Unruly here. $275 on the Gleason trade and version of Venom 33, both 9/8. So that's the other thing. Both 9/8. I'm curious if you're spending that money and it's pre-graded. That's another thing. Like if you're guaranteed the 9/8, that's okay. You know, that could be worth it.
Right. And if you could afford it, God bless your soul.
Right.
You know what I mean? Go for it.
Yeah. Unruly has some pretty dope variants I've seen.
Unruly, I'm gonna be following. Well, I'm gonna be following everybody on here. So
yeah,
that's how it. I believe me, guys. I'm following everybody in
here. He paid $30. Perry paid $30 for a 1 in 50 Lobo cover. There you go.
Oh, the Lobo, nice.
Table says 100.
Hey.
$200 for a UF4. Thomas, you talking about the variant?
Is it the variant?
That's a crazy.
Yeah, that's serious.
We got Matt Woods in the house. What's up, Matt? He says ASM 55.
What up, Matt?
1 in 50 second print is fire. Yeah, no, you're talking to the two that definitely bought a couple copies.
Yeah. More than one.
Yeah. Oh, Michael here says he spent $440. The last big one I can think of. It's Hack/Annual 1 cover E. Man, I gotta look that up.
Yeah, what is that?
I'm curious what that looks like.
Holy crap! He threw the alphabet at us.
I like the Hack/ stuff. I haven't read a lot of it lately, but it looks like a really dope series.
Yeah, I have not read it. I've seen it, but I have like no clue what it's about. Absolutely no clue. But for $440, I think I gotta look into that.
We gotta check it out. Five Minutes says take it back. $30 for a UFO. 30. Oh, for second printing variant.
Second print variant. All right. Dope. Either way, dope.
Rit Ty says $100.
Dope.
Paul says I think 150. The Captain America 700. Jim Lee.
I
think it was a 1 in 500. It's pretty good.
That's nice, bro. Woo. Jim Lee too.
Comics and Culture, what's going on? He says 200 for Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider. That's 1 in 100.
Yeah, that's you got a good deal right there, bro. That was a good one.
Let's see. Matt says I have plans of displaying first, second, and third print, and the 1 in 50 second print, all 9/8 on a wall, the comic book room all together. He's talking about the ASM 55.
ASM 55, bro. Do it. Do it. I wish I had the space.
My question is, are they done? Are they done doing? Are they going to do some more of that book?
You know what? And it's funny because I was talking to one of the local comic shop owners, and he was like, you got to understand, there's yeah. Heroes in Crisis.
No, Heroes in Crisis was the one we couldn't remember.
That's the one you
Harley Quinn, the Harley Quinn book.
Yes,
that's what he's talking about.
Heroes in Crisis. There you go, hit it. What I was saying? Oh yeah. So he was saying, hey, there's a lot of colors on the rainbow. He was like, don't be surprised you see purple. Don't be surprised you see yellow. He was like,
the glow in the dark ones. I'll do those.
Right, the glow in the dark. I'll get the glow in the dark. I'll get the.
We'll be right back here.
Exactly.
No more after this. We're not doing this anymore.
Act like this never happened.
It's Comics and Culture Matina, the Matina variant.
The Matina variant.
Heroes in Crisis. That's the Harley Quinn one.
Yes.
It was $200 when it first came out, and then it's like $50-$60 that you can get.
Man, listen, I've been there.
Yeah.
All right, you remember the Venom? The Immortal Hulk wraparound cover where he had like the face, like it was just like being like warped around the cover. It was Immortal Hulk. It was in the beginning issues, and it was just a whole bunch of variants where the face was distorted. And it was coming around. And when that first came out, the Venom one, everything was hitting like $100.
Right.
And I held myself. I was like, you know what? I did buy it for $50, and it turns out right now you could get it for $30 to $25. I just remember that.
Yep.
That was Immortal Hulk, and that's another big guy that I collect.
It's something to especially if you're new. Like that's one thing I do like to, and this is why we do the show. Is like we're trying to let people know too, to learn at least from our mistakes. Like if you can wait, because a lot of these new variants they do drop. They drop by half the price. I mean they come down. They just do. So if you're okay with waiting, if you're okay with potentially missing out, there's going to be some, of course, some books that are going to blow up and they're going to stay blown up, but not a lot. I mean, there's a lot of that come down.
Man. There's a lot of room, and that's something that goes back to what they were saying earlier in the chat, where they were saying, hey, as an old time collector, it's true, it's going to come around. You know what I mean? Eventually, you're going to run into the book, and this happened to me. I don't know how many. It happened this week. You know what I mean? When I was hunting, I was looking for a specific book. It's been on my list for I don't know how long to finish my Black Panther key run. And boom, there it is, which I was saying when I was digging through the Avenger box.
Right.
Boom, there it is, the origin of Black Panther. And I've been looking for that book, and I've seen it online, and I told myself I'm not going to pay more than $100 for this book.
Right.
And I got it for way more less than $100 in the same condition that I would find it online, $400. And why I waited. I've been looking for that book for 3 years.
Yeah.
And it all goes back to that. Just being patient, waiting it out. Don't get and it's hard not to fight that FOMO. I'm telling you guys, it's like you gotta pray to every god that to keep yourself from committing the act of FOMO, because it's catchy. It's catchy.
Fable saying, I consider getting the Jim Lee Children of the Atom variant. I was reluctant to that you pass it up. I was close to pulling the trigger. Yeah, that thing. I think it's like a 1 in 500 or something like that.
Yeah, man. I saw it and I was like, it's just out of my range, man. From day one, I was like, it's out of my range. I can't.
And we should keep an eye on that. I mean, we should keep an eye on stuff like this.
Yeah.
Like, let's see where it goes. A few months around. I know JP collects. Shout out to JP. He has a great show. He does every Saturday or Sunday, where he talks about he takes the books from 6 months ago that were on all these hot lists, and he shows where they're at now, and a lot of them go down.
That's dope.
So I love what JP. So you should check out JP's show.
I'm definitely gonna be checking out JP, man, for
sure. But he covers that.
Damn, that's dope. That's a good one.
He says, got me cracking up too. Yeah, him and you guys are laughing. Thanks for transparency, because there are plenty of people complaining about variants while buying variants.
Yeah, man,
we buy. Yeah, we buy them.
Yeah,
we have nothing to hide there.
Go to my story, and every week I post my new comic books, and you're gonna
see. Like, I got it.
I got it. There's a reason why it's on time lapse, okay? Because it's like bing, 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 bing. I can't get that 15 seconds without the time lapse.
Right. Michael said, if you passed on $50 variants, you could find 90% plummet in value. This is exactly what we're talking about.
Exactly.
If you were to wait, you'd pay about $10 6 weeks later and still be able to afford the one that blew up. Yeah, a majority.
Even 6 months later. Absolutely. Even 6 months later, man. Just wait. Just hold out, guys. You know, and we're still learning. We're still learning, man.
Flash says Morbius's opinions aren't those of Justin or the company's. I don't know if he was referring to the Moko or
Please elaborate.
All right, guys. This was fun. I have to go. Yeah, Burrito, man.
Definitely,
thanks for hanging out.
Burrito. Definitely, man. Thank you.
Kavi was talking about variants are included in print. Variants are included in print runs. Oh, okay. He's talking about what you were talking about before for the 1 million. The 1 million.
Oh, okay. All right.
He's saying that they are included. Azor says $100 on his. Yeah. Who hates Peach does sound like hate speech. That's what I'm saying. It sounds like that. The same Spider-Man cover. All right, yeah. So some of this, sorry guys, we're like catching up on some stuff still.
Yeah.
It's a little over 8:30 now. We'll probably have to wrap it up soon. What are your thoughts on store exclusive variants and just versus just like Marvel variants? Sorry if you answered this one already. Yeah, no, we didn't really cover store exclusives. You have an opinion on this? What are your
Well, it goes back to the pros and cons of store exclusive. Store exclusive could help a comic shop, depending on how big the comic shop it is. But store exclusives, at the end of the day, when you see the comic on the name of the comic shop on the comic book, of course that's going to bring people in, and it's going to cause people to to spend their money at that comic shop to get that store exclusive, which is amazing. You know what I mean? But then when it comes down to small comic shops, they can't afford that exclusivity. You know what I mean? So then that's where, they suffer from that, and it all goes back for me speaking to the comic shop owner earlier today, where he spoke on that, where he specifically spoke on store exclusive, where he hasn't been able to get one because of how small he is. And that's, it hurts his shop.
Right.
So yeah, let's get into this.
I dig that. Kavi says, I think variants are great for artists because they get more exposure and work and mix with collectors. I don't really factor in speculation when I think about their value to the hobby personally. Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. And I was going to bring that up before because I don't know if you guys don't know this, but this is a book that my dad drew. And if we didn't have variants, then he wouldn't have that. Exactly. He wouldn't have that opportunity. So that's the other side of it. It's like, okay, it's allowing artists, and especially someone like my dad who hasn't been drawing drawn Marvel in a long time. It allowed him to get a little bit of an opportunity. Now I have friends that have reached out and connected with me on a different level where they're like, oh man, that's your dad, like all this stuff. Yeah. So it's a great point. It definitely helps the artists, and we I support that aspect of it.
I gotta show love, Justin.
Yeah. Look at this man right here. Yeah, nice, dude. Nice. Yeah,
I gotta show love, man.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, that's
man. I love your dad's work.
It is a special one too, man. Just the fact that I was able to be in this time period where he's putting a book out and I'm actually buying it off the shelf. Like that experience, I haven't had that experience because I wasn't buying.
We're gonna talk about this next episode. We gotta wrap it up. I know you got your next show coming.
Yeah.
So
but we'll cover some stuff. Personally, I'd rather have one A cover of every book, like the old days. But it's too late for that. Yeah, 100%. I try. I try to just buy cover A's, and especially the books that I'm reading. I try to prioritize the cover A. If I like the B, I'll buy the B as well. If it's cover price, I really try not to go out of my way to spend the big dollars on anything. But I still do it once in a while.
Yeah, if I'm collecting the run, I collect the A cover.
But the A,
and if I like the B, like my Immortal Hulk, Spider-Man, I collect every A cover.
Yeah. That's how I feel about the new stuff too, like the indie stuff. I like to always buy.
Oh yeah,
issue number 1, cover A is my jam. If I can't get anything else, if there's only one thing I could pick, I would pick that.
I'm getting A. Yep, hands down.
Most important for me. Steve says y'all are killing me.
That's up, Steve.
All right, I was trying to jump down a little bit. I apologize if I missed some of your comments, guys. You guys have been awesome.
500 already slabbed that I made Conan the Barbarian 2019 #1.
Oh wow. That's the most you ever paid is 400. That's and for a 500 variant.
Hey man.
So I'm curious, Matt. Like I'm curious how much that book is right now. Did you overpay? Did you underpay? Again, not that it matters ultimately. If it's your book as part of your collection, that's great. But I am curious if could I go buy a 9.8 right now for $200? Obviously it feels bad, and I'm not trying to do it to make you feel bad. I'm just curious.
It's just it's
part of the learning curve,
learning curve to be knowledgeable.
Yeah, but that's incredible. I mean, it looks like I would like to check out the artwork on that. I tell my local shop, give me whatever you have of the have for the most. Want
to help them out.
Yeah, okay. See them get stuck with it. Yeah, so there's a lot of local shops that get stuck with copies, and that's what we're talking about. Where that could hurt the shop's long run and sink. Some shops go out of business. They can't sell these books that they're sitting on. They committed all this extra money towards something. He's answering the thing. Let me see. Let me just jump down to the bottom here because Kavi, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, guys, we're gonna wrap up here. I am getting down to the bottom. Love the variant covers, but don't get me wrong. But I think variants are great, but sometimes saturate the market. Yeah, it's kind of it's a mix. Like they are great, and then at the same time, as he's like, then you got Berserker who has 34 different covers. So it's like like that's too much. That is like. It's I don't want them to go away, but I want them to. I want them to get back to like a reasonable amount.
Tame it. Let's tame it. It's like we were saying. At the end of the day, you got your pros and the cons. It gives an opportunity for artists to get on, to put themselves on the cover, to put themselves out there, to make money, to feed their family. We get that, but let's not, like you said, oversaturate the market. Yeah.
Great point here, Fable. If you're planning to flip, if you're playing the flip game, store exclusives are a huge gamble. You got to have a real eye for it. Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, flipping anything is a huge gamble. You're going to risk if you're buying it. I think it was Perry that said before, like if you're in it just like trying to flip it, it can be dangerous. I mean, you're taking a risk. You are taking a risk. You get burned by it, but you got to be okay with that.
Right.
But yeah. Fable says I only buy store exclusives if they knock me out. Ain't worried about the value. Yeah, same. And that's what we're saying. We're not really buying it to flip it or to make money. We genuinely just like the story or the cover, the art. There's some aspect of it that we like and we want to own and have for our collection. He said, I am now going to get a copy of that nonstop Spider-Man. Got to support great artists. Matt, I appreciate that, bro. Talk about
I'm trying to get mine signed.
Yeah. All right, guys. Yeah, so I think we'll have to close this up. We got back down to the bottom though. We finally got another awesome show. I'd love to sit in a room with you too and talk shop. Absolutely, man. We'll get that together sometime.
We love the comments. We love the fact that you guys agree with us, don't agree with us, kind of agree with us.
Do me a favor. Leave a comment in the YouTube comments because if we missed you guys, we would like to be able to respond and talk with you guys. And that helps a lot. So put a comment in this YouTube platform, and then obviously reach out to us on Instagram. We're both over there. Links in the description. Go subscribe to Morbius if you aren't already. He's about to put out some great content.
Yes.
So and we'll be back next Tuesday, 7:30 as usual. We'll be back. Maybe we'll have a guest. We're starting to talk about guests. So if you're interested in being a guest, you let us know. Maybe we can work out down the road. We already got some people that are interested, so we'd love to have some more people on. I'm going to be jumping over to John's Comics with Kids in about 20 minutes for Omni X-Men. We're breaking down issue 118. So really, really pumped about that.
Hold on a second.
He's got Fable said, great. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. You guys are great. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. We have 15 people still hanging out in here.
Hold on a second.
What do you got there? What do you got there?
So I did one arm, right?
We will definitely revisit this topic in the future for sure.
Oh yeah, we will. We will
definitely. We didn't even get to all the details of the parents.
Hell no. This is a 2-3 hour topic right here.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Here we go. So before we end the night, I want you guys to go sub me up. Hit that subscribe button and make sure you guys subscribe to Morbius Comics.
Don't go giving the finger now. Come on now.
No. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Yeah, hit that like. Cool, man. I love it. Yeah. The PG show, man. PG.
Yeah, come on. Sorry, guys.
Good stuff. Thanks again, everybody in the chat. We appreciate you guys. Reach out to us. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you guys think. This is definitely something we'll recover or we talk about at some point. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. Thanks, guys. Stay safe. Be good and happy hunting.
All right, guys. Peace.